Powell's got a message.
How does it feel to hear your name with Wilt, Bam, Kobe?
Obviously, it's top 3 performances of all time.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yo, what's up, peeps? It's the 7th Man Up podcast, and I'm your host, Alex Burleson. All right, we got a fun one today. This one is going to be an all-out ball episode. So let's get it cracking. All right, starting off, Bam Adeybayo of the Miami Heat passed Kobe Bryant's 81 points with 83 against a G League team. Oh, wait. Just in, it wasn't a G League team. It was the Washington Wizards. Still, against any team? That's insane. Now, the top 5 scorers in the history of the NBA is Luka Doncic with 73, Wilt Chamberlain with 78, Kobe Bryant with 81, Bam Adeybayo with 83, the name Wilt Chamberlain again with 100. Now, throughout these years, everybody's saying like, oh, Wilt doesn't really count. There hasn't really been any real proof of Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game, so everybody's been counting Kobe as the highest scoring game in NBA history. But now, it's Bam Adeybayo, so good job with him. Now, Bam Adeybayo scored in all 3 levels, inside, the midi, and 3-point. Plus, the guy had 40-plus free throws. Oh my gosh. All those free throws, you might have thought he was SGA. Oh my goodness. Now, when Bam had 43 by halftime, I wanted him to pass Kobe. On Twitter, I was like, I hope Spo keeps him in so he can have a chance to pass Kobe. And what do you know? He did. Just that, and quite frankly, I'm still in shock over it. Like, that performance is the game of the 2020s so far. And what's so funny about it, and this just popped into my head out of remembrance, Kobe Bryant did his 81-point game in 2006, if I remember correctly. Bam does his 83-point game in 2026. Now that's crazy to me. And yes, we're talking all about Bam Adeybayo, but the one who assisted on a lot of his baskets we should be talking about is Davion Mitchell. Davion, I've been paying attention, bro. He's become quite the playmaker this season, averaging 6.7 assists per game in 55 games played. So, with this, Bam doesn't get all of his 83 without Davion. So, flowers to Bam Adeybayo and Davion Mitchell. Before what Bam Adeybayo did, highest scoring game in Heat history was 61 by LeBron in 2014. That record stood for 12 years and Bam passed it by 22 points. That's wild. Watch LeBron sign back with Miami next season and him try to get the record back. At this stage in Bron's career, that ain't gonna happen unless he takes what Paul George was taking. My gosh, I'm just kidding. I don't condone taking illegal substances. Now, speaking of Paul George, he will be back from his suspension within the next 2 weeks. He was serving a 25-game suspension for being tested for a substance that is on the NBA's no list. Man. Now, I'm glad it wasn't like the Chris Anderson situation or the OJ Mayo situation or even the Tyreek Evans situation. All bad situations from all of them. And the only one to really come back after a multi-year ban was Chris Anderson. He lasted years in the league after coming back and even won a few chips with the Miami Heat. Now, talking about the Miami Heat, Miami has a rich history of great players in Eddie House, Eddie Jones, Greg Oden, and such. Oh man, you didn't think you were going to get a Greg Oden mention, but I'm just kidding, but those players did play for the Heat. Okay, for real now. Great Heat players fall in line with Dwayne Wade, Shaq, LeBron, Jimmy Butler, and Heat legend Joel Anthony. Players come and go, but it's the ones who stick that really make a lasting impact. And I say that because of the player that I just mentioned, Joel Anthony. My guy Josh Carson and I talked about him on another episode of the podcast. There's a reason he lasted in the league. There's a reason he was part of that starting lineup that featured Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh. He was a good player, and the Miami Heat recognized that. Okay, I got this from my guy Josh Carson. Before ending each ball-themed episode, I'm going to shout out one random NBA player I grew up on. And so, with that, shout out Ricky Davis, bro. Ricky Davis was basically J.R. Smith before J.R. Smith with the flavor he played with. He even tried to give himself a triple-double by bricking on his own hoop and then getting the board, but they didn't give it to him. Now, continuing with Ricky Davis, I remember LeBron's very first game. LeBron got a steal, and on the break, he gave it to Ricky Davis for the mean slam. All right, so with all of this, guys, thanks for tuning in, and as always, remember to stay up with them threes up. Love, joy, and peace. See ya.